best volume so far I have read of Vagabond VizBig Volume 4. This is good for so many reasons. But the greatest thing I'm loving about Vagabond right now is that one quote I mentioned, like, when I first started my Vagabond reviews. You look at the leaf, and you will miss the branch. You look at the branch, you'll miss the entire tree. You look at the tree, and you'll miss the entire forest. That quote is so brilliant, it still retains its integrity in this volume, and is mentioned in this volume, and used as, once again, more characterization, character development for Musashi Miyamoto. I am really growing fond of the writer of this. Like, I don't believe I have read anything from this mangaka before, Takehiko. I don't think I've ever read anything from this mangaka at all. And this mangaka is impressing me with the quality of the artwork, along with the writing now of Musashi. Musashi's character has taken a very good turn in this volume. So, just to briefly talk about something, what really blew me away with that quote and what type of importance it had with this volume is that when Musashi was in the room with the Yagu clan, the leader, the Invincible clan leader, when Musashi sat there and realized what the true meaning of strength, or not really the true meaning, but he realized that he's been looking at the word the entire time. For instance, the word invincible. As we know since the very beginning, you had it to where Musashi wanted to be invincible under the sun. That is what is stated since the very beginning of the series. He wants to be invincible under the sun. And you come to find out that he was too preoccupied with the word invincible. And this has reoccurred multiple times throughout the entirety of these past 4 volumes I have read. And in this, we come to find out that what Musashi has been looking at, the word invincible, like he wants to be invincible or find out what it means to be invincible, he realized he was so preoccupied with the word invincible, he missed the bigger picture. That writing, it's just so stunning. I don't know how many of you Chibits care about that, but when I realized the meaning behind how Musashi was looking at the word invincible for so long, this little goal, and he didn't see the big picture of how insignificant he was and how small he was, and then also how grand of this leader is, the Yagu clan, and then this invincible leader, it really just makes your mind open up when you sit down and read this volume, especially when you realize that quote and what type of meaning it has in this volume. So, the volume, for different reasons, is kind of deep, because Musashi realizes that he has no time, or he shouldn't be looking at the Invincible title. Like, right at this moment, he's so inexperienced as a wandering samurai. He's so inexperienced, and he is nowhere near the top, that he has no right at the moment, or he really shouldn't be looking at the title Invincible and trying to figure out what it really means to be invincible. At the moment, he's trying to learn that, but he needs to wait until he becomes truly strong, and wait till he truly gets to a certain point where he realizes what it means to be invincible. See, at the moment, he's going through stages of his life to where he's realizing that it's not all about brute strength to be invincible. That's clearly what he is going through right now. He's realizing these different elements that really make someone truly a brilliant warrior, along with being an invincible under the sun type of person. And that is what he realized in this volume. He realized that at this moment, it just doesn't mean brute strength to be invincible under the sun. So, getting into some, little deeper details, what I really enjoyed was how the clan leader, the Yagu clan's leader, the Invincible clan leader, the old man, he was just lying in bed. He was just in bed, lying down, asleep. And he was sleep-talking. And with his sleep-talking, and the way his body was honed, and used his body in actions like he's done throughout his entire life to defend himself, his body was defending himself even while he was asleep. That is how the Yagu clan old leader was trained. And so, with the volume, come to find out that you have to where Musashi realizes he is nowhere near the top. He is nowhere near the same level as the invincible Yagu clan. See, half of this volume takes place just having Musashi versus the elder leaders or clan leaders of the Yagu clan, like, the upper elders, pretty much, like, the people right underneath the top person, the top dog. And half of the volume focuses on that fight, and you see that Musashi, he's very skilled, yes, he's very strong, and he was putting up a very good fight, but he still wasn't strong enough to overcome them, or even go up against and even be able to stand in the presence of the old man Yagu, because the way this old man, his presence about him, of how he was laying there, and Musashi was feeling this great fear, and he got on his damn knees. Like, dude, seriously, when a man is sitting here holding a sword, a fucking katana, about to kill an old man laying down, and he gets on his damn knees because the sheer presence of this old man is that great, you know this dude is fucking scary. Like, seriously, Musashi got on his knees, and he was like wobbling over because he just couldn't fucking believe how this dude, his body was so trained to be able to even fight back while he was asleep. And then on top of that, the old man was in fact asleep. It was confirmed. And then on that, the old man, the way his presence was, it was like a mountain. It was like a mountain to Musashi. That's scary. That is so scary. And I love the symbolism in this volume. I really love the symbolism when Musashi realizes that the old man looks like a mountain. I really do. I like getting to see when Musashi climbs up the mountain. He's just climbing this mountain. It's kind of like a soul-searching journey. He's climbing this mountain, and he gets on top of the mountain, and then he looks at all these vast mountains all around and through the clouds, and he realizes that all these people he has to face are like mountains. It's just very, very beautiful symbolism I loved in this volume. Like, oh my god. I truly, truly appreciate writing like that when it comes to any type of series. And that was great. That was such a great moment for Musashi as a character to develop and progress on. Especially with, how he came to the realization about his downfalls of always focusing on the word invincible. So that's kind of what the main, I think, middle segment of the volume actually really tried to focus on. And also on that, the old man foreshadows this. Actually, I want to mention this. The old man foreshadows that Musashi is at the level of like a younger son of the old man. As we know in this volume, the old man's son came back into the Yagu clan's establishment. And we kind of find out that this old man was talking about his son in his dreams, and that's when Musashi was there. Come to find out that the old man let us know when he was dreaming, he was actually seeing Musashi's soul. And the soul reminded him of his younger son. So yeah, I mean, getting to see that's kind of foreshadowing that Musashi is going to increase into a very brutal, crazy warrior that is going to be very compassionate. Because looking back at multiple volumes, like if you take, 2 volumes back, let's say just volume 2 of the VizBig, and then you look at this volume, you really see the progression with Musashi as a character and what he has been through, along with how much he has changed as a person. See, at the beginning of this series, here's, what I want to get into, kind of focus on a little bit, just to show the changes in Musashi since the beginning of his journey to what he is now in this volume. If you take a couple steps back, Musashi, he ran away from Hosen. He ran away. He had this fear about him. He was very savage. He was like a savage beast. People called him a wild, savage beast. And the way he fought was unrefined. He was like a beast. And so I truly appreciate how much he has developed as a character to this very point, to where he is now a lot more calm. Like, he's calmed down quite a bit compared to the start of his journey, and now the way he's able to, see the details of someone's cuts, even though they look exactly similar, along with getting to see the strength of an old man that is sleeping. It just shows you how much he has changed, and also to the point to where he didn't even strike at the old man. Like, see, we've seen constant flashbacks of Musashi's past with his father. One of the main reoccurring flashbacks we've seen quite a bit throughout every volume is Musashi's father laying there in bed, and Musashi tries to kill him. And in the act of that, Musashi's had this in his mind for a long time of how he thought he was a coward, and it could be considered a cowardly act. But more along the lines of that, when you come to find out that the situation in this volume was very similar but for different reasons, it really just shocks you, because you come to find out that Musashi's father, that was saying he was like the invincible, he was an invincible warrior, and this is kind of, how Musashi got his, entire invincible, seeking out being invincible. He comes to realize that his father was scared. He had a lot of fear inside of him. Like, see, in the flashback, you see how the father's chasing down his son in the forest and just cuts anything around him, like, in the act of fear. And it shows you that the father was so preoccupied with his self. One of the main things that's been reoccurring since the last volume, don't be preoccupied with just yourself. And so, the father was so occupied with his self, his goal, he was kind of like a coward. He was fearful the way he was. And so Musashi already at this point, he's already growing past what his father was. What we can already see demonstrated in this volume. He's already starting to take steps past his father in terms of as a very good warrior. So, that is that. Getting into some other details, let's see here. Let me look through this volume. Let's talk about the Elder Warrior fight. That's something I want to get into. So, Musashi, at the beginning of the volume, which, this review's kind of a little bit out of order, but I wanted to talk about that first time while it was fresh in my mind. The elders of the Yagu clan, they were very refined as warriors, too. They were really refined, and they definitely deserved the title as the elders of the Yagu clan. There was one that was pretty feisty, and he wanted to slit Musashi's throat, which is slightly understandable. There is, hot-headed people, so I won't put that person down for that. Just to see the level of warriors in the Yagu clan, I'm willing to bet that, like, if it would have been a very serious match straight up, I wonder how different would have been. Like, my bet was, I wonder if Musashi would have won. Like, I think he would have. He might have won if it was a one-on-one. But I don't know, because at the moment, they were really strong. They were really strong the way they used their fighting techniques, along the way they defended off Musashi. Musashi, of course, did a lot of wounds to them. I mean, he cut one's ear, he cut one's eye, and I guess you could consider he did a lot more damage to the elders than, they did to him. But they weren't really, I guess, trying to... How can I explain it? See, they were trying to kill him, of course, but I don't think they were really giving it 100% their all, so to say. I don't know. That's just my feeling I felt when I was reading this volume. Like, if it would have been a very serious match on paper or something, the match might have been a lot different. So, we might not ever see exactly who is stronger until the end of the series. But, at the moment, it's up in the air who truly was stronger. Because, I mean, it was, an unfair fight. But Musashi did pick an unfair fight. So, you can't really put down the elders for having, like, 4v1. So, it was Musashi's fault at that. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the elder fight. Very good, very well-executed segment of this volume that led into the old man's little section of this volume. Great little segue into that. And so, what really makes this volume just so good, like I've said, is the old man scene. That old man scene just alone is so beautiful. And then along with the old man, the way he treated Otsu, and he's like, I will continue to call my granddaughter, she wants to call him her grandfather. That right there, fucking love that. I love that scene so much too. Like, also Otsu as a character, she has also progressed, which is quite shocking. As a female character that doesn't really have the most focus in the series, she has progressed quite a bit since the beginning. And I'm looking forward to that, because at the moment in the volume, you come to see that Jotaro and Otsu are traveling together to try to hunt down Musashi, because Musashi, he's taken his own path, and he left behind his disciple and Otsu because they would live a lot better life, a lot happier life with the Yagu clan. And so, once again, it also goes to show you how Musashi has changed as a person, how much he has grown, how much he has, became more compassionate and caring. That just goes to show you right there. And so, to see how they're now hunting him down, I'm liking the start of this journey, because I wonder, at the moment they're trying to find Musashi, and I wonder if they're going to find him very soon. I wonder if they're going to take a different path, to where, like, they travel apart from Musashi, and they develop as characters from a different direction. Like, how Matahachi at the moment, or Sasaki, he's currently, traveling around trying to grow better as a swordsman. I wonder if they're going to have their own little segment. Like, they're going to do their own journey, if we're going to swap between the different characters, like, Sasaki to Musashi, and then also swap back to Jotaro and Otsu. I wonder if they're going to do it like that throughout the journey of Vagabond, or if they're going to find Musashi. I'm very curious about that. I really am, because that's the way it's setting up. It has those two choices to choose from at the end of this volume. So, the next thing I want to lead into, before I get into the Baiken, the dude at the end of this volume, oh my god, dude, oh shit. Before I get into that, okay, what I want to talk about is Sasaki. Sasaki in this volume, his cowardice and his actions caused his uncle kind of to die, the way he acted. Him taking upon a name and being an imposter caused his uncle to die. And he's facing the consequences in this volume. He has to bury his own uncle. Now, I don't wish death upon any person, no matter how much I hate the person's character, especially, like Matahachi, how I don't really like him as a character, the way he's acted throughout the series, but I still feel sorry for the dude, for losing his uncle. I really do feel sorry for him. And so the way he lost it, I hope this is a good turning point in his character to really change and grow stronger. I really do. Because I've heard that Sasaki could be considered Musashi's rival, as I've said. And if that's true, I'm expecting great things from Matahachi to develop as a character. See, he has a lot of improvement, a lot of potential to be a very good character, depending on how the writer of this series decides to take it. Because a bunch of Chibits have told me that this series is taking its own path different from history. So it's not taking the same path. So, I wonder how the mangaka will write Musashi as a character. Not Musashi, whoa. How the manga would write Matahachi as a character. Like, you get what I'm saying. Because at the moment, this is a very good turning point for his character to really develop and change into a really brilliant warrior. So, yeah, I mean, that little segment of this volume, very sad the way he had to deal with that. And he also encountered Baiken's daughter or whatever, and he was scared shitless. He was fucking scared. Like, I would be scared too. If I saw that little girl just jumping around like that and had the sickle and chain, oh, fuck, dude. Oh, shit, I'd be scared. So, yeah, that's about it. Besides, one more thing I do need to mention, besides the uncle and Sasaki, the mother, the grandmother, she falls into the river, and she was drowning. And pretty much in the act of that, Otsu finds her, saves her, and Otsu finds out that she's been trying to hunt Otsu down to try to kill her. So, wonder what's going to happen there. That's up in the air at the moment. So, let's move into the Baiken part, or the person called Tsuji. Tsuji from the, first volume of Vagabond. Now, there was quite the plot twist in this. I didn't expect to see Tsuji back again. I didn't expect to see him back in this volume, and I didn't expect to see him as someone like Baiken. I didn't expect that, especially a well-known name like that. And come to find out what the plot twist at the end of the volume is that Baiken isn't really, the master right now. The little girl that was with him is his master. So, that was quite shocking, when he reveals that this little girl is his master. I'm like, what the fuck? So, it's very obvious that that little girl is probably the daughter of the original Baiken, and you have to where this dude, Tsuji, he is taken upon the name of him. And there's a lot of mysteries, it's shrouded in mysteries now, because we come to find out that Baiken is dead, and someone took upon his name. So, for instance, that would mean Tsuji took upon Baiken's name. I like how this series constantly does stuff like that. See, it's showing different examples of how people take upon others' names. Like, how Matahachi took on Sasaki Kojiro's name. And then in this, you have to where Tsuji takes upon, Baiken's name. I like that. I really like that story elements. I wonder if the original Samurai days in the Warring States era and stuff like that did stuff like this. I'm willing to bet it happened, but just to see how people take upon others' names and their reputation upon for themselves, I don't know how to feel about that. So, Baiken, obviously, he's sticking around with the little girl for a reason. He obviously is. He's sticking around her. I don't feel like Baiken is necessarily bad anymore. Judging by his change of demeanor the way it was at the end of this volume, he's not the same person, obviously. And it seems like he's calmed down quite a bit, similar to what has happened to Musashi. And so you have to factor in, like, what happened. Why is he with this girl? I mean, of course, you know, she's his master, but what happened? See, she's still a little girl. At the end of the day, she's still a little girl. So I'm assuming that the original Baiken died. Probably he either was responsible for her father's death, or he died in a tragic accident and he decided to take it upon himself to carry his name and then help her out. One or the other's probably going on there. So, I wonder. Also, the sickle and chain technique. Scary as fuck. Like, Musashi's nose gets broken in this volume. I'm like, bro. Like, his nose gets fucking snapped. And he has to break his nose back in. Oh, God. I would hate to do that shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I would not want to do that. Oh, God. I don't even want to imagine how a broken nose feels. So, yeah. And then his finger got snapped, too. Fucking hit. Oh, God, dude. I don't do shit, man. I wouldn't want my finger snapped like that. So, yeah, I mean, this volume of Vagabond, overall, very solid. Very, 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 very solid. Best volume of this series yet I have read. A lot of potential in this volume for growth for the characters. I cannot wait to see what the mangaka is going to do. I cannot wait to see what the next volume has in store for me. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.